Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrea Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
Good. How was UFO Festival and everything for the Chamber?
It was great. It was went out and walked around a little bit.
Yeah.
Saw everything that was going on. My kids spent, honestly, a lot more time up and in all of it because one of my daughter's friends lives literally 2 blocks.
Okay.
So they spent the night over there and walked through and checked everything out.
Okay. Good
and
deal.
she said that it was definitely hands down better than it had been, the previous year when it was rained out.
Good deal.
So,
Well, I know we had a lot of people in town. And
yeah.
I didn't know if any of our chamber members reached out, talked about any of their business, or gave any kind of. I'm sure they all were pretty busy
Out and
this
about.
weekend.
I saw
doing
many
some business,
of our locals out and about, which is also something that is different that I saw from the last 25 years that I've lived here is typically you hear UFO festival and the locals scatter. And this year I saw a ton of locals. And so that was really nice.
Yeah. I'll take credit for the fact that gas is $5.50 a gallon and,
right.
Airplanes you can book all the flights you want, but there's a 50-50 chance they're going to cancel it. So I'm thinking, let's hang out in Roswell this weekend.
Yep. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And then you guys brought in
Clyde Lewis was in town.
Lewis,
Yeah, we had a great time with him. Yeah, everything I heard, like all the events that you could buy tickets for, were sold out.
Yep.
Which tells me that I'm sure all of our downtown merchants, obviously all of our hotels were sold out. So I'm thinking all of our restaurants and our Main Street downtown merchants and folks like that, and I think all saw a big uptick in business this weekend.
Absolutely.
So,
My daughter works at Cattle Baron, and she said that it was nonstop Friday and Saturday.
Good. That's the kind of stuff we need here.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure we'll get the final numbers here in a couple weeks or a month or so, but hopefully it's a nice little shot in the arm for this economy here, and
absolutely,
hopefully that'll be some good grocery.
I'm sure it is because it was definitely busy. I made it a point to not drive through the middle of all of that. I made sure to go around, but even some of those side streets, you could tell there was an uptick in parking, in people driving. So it was a good sign.
Absolutely.
Good job, City of Roswell.
Yeah, I think all the entities involved did a great job for the Galacticon and Main Street and the city.
Main Street, Roswell,
the
City.
International UFO Museum and Research Center. They all did amazing.
They came
jobs,
together, and it was a fantastic event. So good job, everybody. I'm very proud of you.
Absolutely. But that doesn't mean there's still a bunch going on with the through the chamber. Of course,
absolutely.
Summer is a bit quieter as far as meetings and things go, but business after hours and get-togethers and stuff
events
like that. There's plenty of that going on.
In fact, we are hosting the Roswell Invaders Night.
Yes.
July 14th. So you can get your discounted tickets at the chamber. They're $8 a piece.
Go out there and go to the games.
It is so much fun.
It's very inexpensive. You can get your tickets at the gate, or you can get them in advance at the website. You go there and get your Invaders gear. You can get the jerseys and hats, and like Friday, I was sporting my Invaders, my blue. I love that. That's my official UFO festival. I love the blue. Not a fan of the green one, but I love the blue one with the green.
The blue is really nice.
With the green trim, I guess you could say. Love that one, but the green one not.
Well,
but I get it. A lot of people love it.
Discounted rate on the tickets if you come to the chamber for chamber night, $8. And we may have some goodies.
Good deal.
Over there. Last year, we gave away alcoholic beverages.
Good deal.
Care of LNF Distributors. They are a great member of ours at the chamber. So
they support a lot of being a member, but they also support a lot of our events.
Absolutely.
And things involved.
They're great.
Too. So, yeah.
And then, of course, we are currently taking applications for Leadership Roswell.
The deadline is the end of this month. So
we're July 29th at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And we were pretty hardcore on turning off the applications online as well as locking the doors. If you don't have your application in, you're going to have to wait a whole nother year.
Yeah, get those applications now. It's a short answer application. It's not.
Yes.
It's so these are questions that they put on there are designed for you to learn a little bit about you. So there's questions on there like, what do you think Roswell's greatest asset is? What do you think Roswell's greatest problem is? And they want more answers.
And how can you solve those problems? Exactly.
Yeah, but they don't want you to just say Roswell's greatest problem is crime and then move on to the next thing. That's not helpful. We want to know, okay, is it crime? Well, why? What do you see as be particular about it? Why is it crime? What are facets about it? That's what, and so it's not so much what you write. We want to see your thought process and see what you think about this community and things like that, because the whole point of Leadership Roswell is A, to learn leadership skills, but B, is to also familiarize the class with all facets of how Roswell runs in Chaves County, from the government side to business side to emergency services.
Well, we're growing leaders for our community. And we had a bunch of teachers last year. Mm-hmm. That was the largest class I had seen with teachers.
Okay.
So that was really cool that RISD was really allowing and supporting the teachers to take that one Friday off a month.
Yeah, it can be a little trickier for them, too, especially in the world where they're short-staffed and then they have to get a sub, but if there's not enough subs because it's COVID and all that world. So it's really it was really great to see that happen, because that probably was a bigger Herculean task than most people realize.
Yep. So. And we only get, there's only 30 seats in the class. So if we get 40 or 50 applications,
which we usually do,
we
always get more than 30.
However, if you have turned in an application and we're told no, whether it was last year or in the last few years, you do get weighted more. There is more consideration on somebody that has put in their application more than once, because that shows that you really are interested and dedicated.
Absolutely.
So don't be discouraged if you had been turned down at some other point. Turn in your application. It's always a great class.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, like you said, if you tried last year, year before, you probably got a better chance this time of getting in. So, but please do apply, because it is a great program. It really is a great chance for you to learn about this community. It's been going on for 30 plus years. It's to be honest, the Leadership Roswell program has kind of set a pattern for other similar programs around the state.
We're the longest running leadership program in the state.
Yeah, and those other programs that do great stuff, a lot of them have patterned what they do off of what Leadership Roswell does.
Correct.
So that, flattery is the best form of compliment, or whatever they say there, or what is it? Imitation is the best form of flattery. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Then there you go. There's your answer right there. So it is really great.
And then we also have cap sorting this Saturday, starting at 9 a.m.
That's bottle caps, not ball caps, or
correct. The plastic bottle caps. Yeah. So we can do those benches around town. We work with Main Street Roswell. This is their program, but we definitely partner with them. So
isn't like I can't remember the number, but it's like 100 pounds of those caps make one bench or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 100 or 200 pounds. Yeah. And then if you want a bench, it's $300 is all the cost is. And then we go and sort, because I've been a part of just about all of the sorting Saturdays in the last 6-8 months that they've had.
Is that through Main Street, or is that through one of the churches? Or
it's through Main Street Roswell. Okay. But everybody is welcome. So if you've got some kind of community service that you need to fulfill, I know, for example, that the Assist Teens have gone and helped out, because they are all about volunteerism as well as other groups around town. And you don't have to be a youth. You can be an adult.
Yeah.
And it actually goes really quick.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. The people there are fantastic to hang out with. And if you can only be there for an hour, come for an hour.
I imagine for certain people, there's a cathartic thing going on there. You know what I mean? Like some people, like they get in the zone when they're sorting or doing like ironing, or, you know what I mean? Certain people have.
Absolutely.
I think for some people, sorting bottle caps by color might be like that little cathartic little, mental.
Well, it's not by color, it's by...
Or whatever size or whatever it is.
It's cleanliness and type, because there's certain kinds of plastics that cannot be recycled.
Gotcha, okay.
And so that's what we're doing, is going through, getting rid of the metal, getting rid of, if something's really nasty. At one time, Main Street Roswell would take the really, really gross ones and like go home and wash them. And I don't think that they do that quite as much. If they're really grody, they go.
The juice ain't worth the squeeze on that one.
Correct.
Basically.
But there are some that are, if they're just kind of dirty, we'll go and kind of wash them out and then bring them back. But it's really cool to see the sorting process and watch these big bags get full of these bottle caps. So from starting at 9, probably go to about noon.
Okay.
The sorting actually takes place at Hawks Automotive.
Okay.
Which is at 12 South Lincoln.
Lincoln, which is over right by 3rd Street and all that there. Yeah.
And it's very easy to get to. And it is. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun.
Last time I went by there, he had some crazy hot rod thing out there. So I don't know if that's still there or not. But
I'll have to go past there.
That was a while ago. That was a while ago. But yeah, that was like my landmark. I was like, yeah. But yeah, it's right over there.
And then, of course, if you have bottle caps, we at the chamber are a drop spot. So if you've got your bottle caps, bring them over to the chamber, and I'll throw them in the back of my Armada and shuffle them over there so they can be sorted for Saturday.
Yeah, because it's really a great program, like you said. These the benches that they come out, you've seen them, some of them downtown right now.
Absolutely.
They're benches that are made from these recycled bottle caps. But the cool part is they're cheaper to make than typical benches are, park benches. They're more durable than the other benches, and they're more resistant to graffiti and things like that. So when they try to tag these and all that, it's just a simple sand real quick, and it's back to normal.
Absolutely.
It's very simple maintenance for an item that tends to get, the public doing things to it.
We are partnering with the 2 families of the 2 young gentlemen that were killed over at Cahoon Park to donate some park benches over there.
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing like naming in the honor of a loved one or something. That's kind of how they've been dedicated.
The families had reached out to us because our staff knows some of the family members of those 2 young men. And so we said, you know what, we can absolutely help out. And I know that the city of Roswell is putting together kind of a nice little memorial type spot
stuff. Good
over
deal.
At Cahoon Park, and we thought, you know what, this is perfect.
Sure.
Talk about a perfect thing.
Yeah.
It's just a couple $100 per bench.
Yeah.
And
maybe it gives a little bit of comfort to the families.
And then you can sit and reflect and do what you need. And these young men will not be forgotten.
Yeah, that's a great idea. But that's the beauty of these. So if you were into this, start collecting the bottle caps and things like that. Come out Saturday, maybe and help sort, but then you can learn about the types that are worth saving and the ones that you can't save.
Absolutely.
Because there is like most of your soda bottle caps and all that are good to go.
All of your water bottle caps for them, from your Dasani bottles
the screw-off
and stuff.
Caps,
But you can do your milk tops.
Mm-hmm.
You can do your plastic caps from your laundry detergent.
Yeah.
There are so many other caps.
I think like the plastic mayonnaise jars and stuff. The
pretty
lids
much
from those.
anything that's a plastic top.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have the metal in there.
No glass jars or the metal lids that come with glass jars typically. But the plastic ones, those are all game on. The butter tubs, like your country clock butter tubs.
Your medicine tops as well. So if you have medication.
Yeah, all of that's part of it.
You go dispose of the medication with the police department when they do that day.
Save the bottle top.
But then save the top and bring it to us. And if you're a business or an organization around town, we also have the order forms, so that way you can order a bench and have it put in front of your location or somewhere around town, because we've got all kinds of parks, all kinds of places around town that it would be really nice to have a bench.
It's a good place to park a butt. There's a good place for a bench.
Absolutely. And like I said, they're very inexpensive, and come and sort some bottle cap. It really is fun. The first time I went to go sort bottle caps, I'll be honest, I was rolling my eyes. I can't believe. And it was so much fun. It ended up being so much fun.
Good deal. Well, come out and then again this Saturday. What time?
This Saturday, starting at 9 a.m.
At Hawks.
At Hawks Automotive. You can call us at the chamber, and we'll give you more information if I talked too fast here.
Well, we live in a world that you can easily go into your Google machines and type in Hawks.
And if you can't be there the whole time, pop in for an hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
30
amazing.
minutes or 3 hours, whatever you got, we'd love to have you.
We would love to have you. And then a new thing that we're doing at the chamber is, we've got so many regulations and rules that are starting to come out. For example, the paid sick leave started on Friday, and it is required for every business. If you have an employee, you are required to do this paid sick leave in the state of New Mexico.
Okay.
So I know I had questions. So I had reached out to a bunch of my friends that I know around the state that are HR people. So we are partnering with Leprino, and we are going to start a human resources group through SHRM.
Oh, cool.
SHRM is this organization that knows everything that there is to know about human resources. So starting on the 29th will be our first meeting. We're going to do a luncheon at the chamber, and we are trying to get anybody that wants to know more about human resources. And it doesn't matter if you're a huge business that has your own dedicated HR department, or if you're the mom and pop shop that it's you and 2 employees. Come and check this out and sign up and be a part of it. You're going to learn things that you're going to need to know.
Okay.
Because I know I thought there was I was like, oh, I'll just come into the chamber and we'll have a good time. We'll fix some stuff.
Right.
And we'll have some parties and do good things. No, there is the business part of your business that you need to know and be able to follow these rules.
And let's face it, like you said, there's been new additions, changes, and things. And let's face it, these are type of semantics that really make or break businesses.
Absolutely.
Sometimes. And, because generally speaking, especially your small businesses, the owner's passionate about the product and maybe not so much about the minutia of running a business. And unfortunately, when it comes to human resources, if you're not doing those right,
absolutely,
that can really bite you in the tail.
And it's not just knowing the rules and regulations. It's making sure that your employee handbook is written appropriately, that it's up to date, that you have the appropriate paperwork for your employees when you're hiring, and whether it be terminating or your employee has quit. What you have hanging in the break room. It's those types of things.
And when a disciplinary issue happens, and let's face it, anytime it's a matter of time. Somebody's going to, you know what I mean? There's something happens. The difference between success and failure is, do you do the protocols right? If you fire someone, did you do everything that you're supposed to do to follow that track record? I know in the days of old, you're fired and that's the end of it. And in many cases nowadays, you better have some reasonings behind that and things. And if it's not documented, then you're probably going to get sued or have to deal with unemployment or various other issues.
Document everything, even if it's not a formal reprimand. Anytime you speak with an employee, you should be making notes.
Yeah.
What, good, bad, or otherwise. And you should be, hey, on this date, I sat down and talked to Joe, and Joe said this, and we discussed this, and move on.
And it's even harder to be on top of that in a small business because, let's face it, the more time you spend with someone, you tend to get friendly, and the relationship, though is a boss-employee, also has elements of friend-peer type. And I'm not saying that's bad, but if you don't know how to handle that like an adult, it can bite you in the tail, and that's where the HR can protect you from those things.
So when that's on the 29th here at the chamber. Like I said, we're trying to get this group started because I know if I have questions, I can't be the only one that has questions when updating my employee handbook and all of these other things. And so Jeannie Lopez Boberas, who's the HR specialist over at Leprino, her and I started talking, and she said, you know what? We need this group because then we can all help each other. Sure. And then, if you have a great employee handbook, for example, then maybe I can get a copy of it and then just tweak it for my specific business.
No use reinventing the wheel here. If it's a good thing, we'll just tweak it to, like you said, to customize it to meet your needs. But yeah, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. The handbook's the handbook. And let's face it, no matter what your business is, there is a common decency that you treat people and interact with. I don't care whether it's an oil field job or a job at a Quickie Mart or something. It's that there's the same level of respect.
That's right. And it doesn't matter if you have one employee or 101 employees. This is all good information. So please come the 29th. There is a website where we're going to need to sign up just because we're going through the program SHRM and they want to see how many people are going to show up, because if we only have 3 people show up, they're not going to send their specialists from out of town to come help us.
Right. It's kind of like, the military. It's like a fire trucks. They send everybody, but in essence, if it's a cat in the tree, they don't need to send, the entire. That's what happens anyway, because that's emergency. But in theory, you don't have to.
Exactly. So
one guy
call
with
us
a ladder
at the chamber, because I don't have the website in front of me because my email is not coming up at the moment. It was popped up when I walked in here, and it has disappeared.
Technology never works when you need it.
No.
It's only when you don't.
But if you call us at the chamber, 575-623-5695, we will take all of your information and we'll get you logged in ourselves. So we've got that on the 29th. We've got cap sorting on the 9th. And then, of course, we've got Roswell Invader Night on the 14th. And, of course, come by the chamber, call us. With all of this fantastic weather we've had, our phones have been kind of on and off. So if you call us and we don't answer right away, it's not because we're ignoring you. I promise. As soon as the phones come back up, leave a message. If you get the voicemail, leave a message.
Technology's being honored at the office right now.
We've got a bunch of children that are home for summer vacation that would love to answer the phone and take those messages.
Put them to work.
Absolutely.
Slave wages. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. My kids were rolling their eyes when I told them how much I was going to pay them.
Yeah, you're getting paid in experience,
and
kids.
they were like, what? And I was like, you're 12? So this is what you're getting paid.
That's right. This is called parental education time.
That's right.
And we're going to teach you, Mommy going to teach you life, how it works. So.
Well, they've gotten a lot of life lessons since I took over. And that was during COVID, because they were scrubbing toilets and washing windows and mopping. And I was like, okay, today we're going to the chamber.
Nice.
We're going to do our school till noon. And once we're done with homeschooling, guess what? It's home economics for the rest of the day.
That's the one facet my wife and I missed out. We don't have any kids, so we don't get to the stage where you get to train them to do all the chores.
Well, I have I have 3 teenage daughters, if you'd like to borrow some.
Oh, you're my designated chore doers. Come on over.
That's right.
That's right. I got a list for you. But definitely, like you said, if you have any questions or any issues, please contact us. If you don't leave a message, it'll get to you. You can also always use our social media forms to reach out. Facebook and Instagram, right?
Facebook and Instagram
are the 2 main ones.
And hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have our new website.
Good deal. And then, like I said, come by the office. And, of course, we're gearing up back to school here. If you want to get business after hours for the fall and all that kind of stuff, now's the time to reach out and start booking that stuff.
Yes, because we're only doing 2 a month.
Yeah.
And once they're full, they're full.
And I know, generally speaking, a lot of chamber members like to have some kind of a special occasion around their business after hours, whether it's a grand opening as a new business or an anniversary thing.
Or a remodel.
Or celebrating a remodel.
Changing of the guard of some sort.
Or a new piece of equipment.
But you don't have to. No. If you just say, you know what, I've been in Roswell for a while and nobody really knows where I'm at, or I just want to have a party, let us know.
But if it's something date specific, the more time out, the better. So
absolutely. So that way we can make sure.
Our 1-year anniversary is on September 17th. I need to have it on the 17th. It's like, well, you better tell us now. Don't wait till September to bring that.
Correct.
Up.
And we typically do our business after hours on Thursdays. However, we have been known to make exceptions for those exact reasons, that if there is a special anniversary, a special grand opening, if all of your, special higher up management is going to be in from out of town, we will make those special arrangements. So that way, maybe the business after hours is on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday.
Sure. But either way, we accommodate, work on that. But the sooner you reach out to us, the better.
Absolutely.
And all that stuff too. And then, of course, here before you know it, we'll be talking fair and all that stuff. It'll be fair season.
Oh my gosh!
Here this month with the county fairs, and then the Eastern New Mexico State Fair here start of fall, it's all going to be back here pretty quick. So.
My daughters are getting ready to gear back up for their competition dance schedule for next year. And we were just talking about when is fair day?
Yeah, it's getting into fair season. I know, I think Eddy and Chaves counties will be later this month. And
I think so.
And then usually right the end of September, 1st of October is when the Eastern New Mexico State Fair will get underway.
Everything's cranking up.
Yep, so... I do. It's in my car. I don't have it on me.
And school starts super early this year, August 4th.
August 4th, school's back.
Oh, my gosh.
That's less than a month away, kids.
Yeah, it's like a month away. And, of course, my kids are like,
Uh-huh.
But, once again, I think that's due to COVID.
Couple
with
parents
stuff
just went,
is that
really?
they're trying to make sure that they can get kids back on track.
Sure.
Was my understanding. I don't know if that's necessarily.
I probably, there's probably a lot to that. Yeah, they probably added some days.
And I think the school year typically was 185.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they added 10. That was the number I heard was 10 days
God
were
bless
added,
America.
So. This year they gave the districts, they were able to decide for themselves if they wanted to do 180 or 190. Like I know in Albuquerque, they were going to do 190 and they got a lot of pushback.
So they stopped theirs.
And so they said, never mind.
But we here in Roswell,
we're doing 190.
I think it's a good thing. I
And
don't know.
they're
Why would you push
squeezing
back on
in
that?
Those extra 10 days also include Fair Day. That's considered community learning. And,
Wow. Good.
Good.
Martin Luther King Day, community learning. And then there's some days that are half days that will be included. And then the second half of the day is teacher development in that. So some of that's included in the calendar.
I'm okay with community learning as like Martin Luther, if actually they're doing stuff. Like Fair Day I can buy because they're going to fair.
Because those kids wouldn't be at school if you didn't give them the day off anyway.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day, unless you're going to programs of Martin Luther King Jr., that's not an enrichment day. That's I'm hanging out in my home.
That kid's sleeping in, watching cartoons.
The state's allowing that to count as a school day.
That's a bit of a stretch, but all right.
Yeah,
I think
that's a bit of a stretch.
And as a parent, that's where I get irritated sometimes because I've had this, and it's not anybody's fault necessarily, other than probably admin, but. My kids typically don't go to school like the last few days of school because by the time finals are done, what learning is happening the last 3 days of school because all the tests are done. You're not doing any information. You're just fulfilling those however many days, however many hours of school that they need to do for the calendar because the teachers are putting in the grades to make sure that the final grades are there. So that way you guys aren't there for an extra week after school's over doing paperwork. They're doing it those last few days. But that's just my personal mother rant.
Yeah. Well, we can keep going because that'll be, I just saw the time. We better because this is a can of worms.
Gosh. Yeah.
This is a can of worms that'll keep going for hours.
Yeah, call us at the chamber, 575-623-5695. Cap sorting, July 9th, Cox Automotive. That's this Saturday. We have the Chamber Invaders Night is Thursday, July 14th. Come to the Chamber, $8 a ticket. We almost sold out Joe Bonham Stadium last year.
Right.
So
let's
come
sell
on,
out this year.
We want to break our record. Like Mama wants to buy some new shoes.
We'll talk more about it on the radio here, but that right around that time too is also Vitalent's Battle of the Badges.
Perfect. Let's go.
14th, 15th, right around that same time too. We'll get her on later.
And if you want to know what's going on with HR, if you are a business, you need to be a part of this. Give us a call, 575-623-5695, or stop by and see us at 131 West 2nd.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the visit as always. We'll see you here in a couple of weeks. Well, I'll see you sooner, but officially in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
All right. It is 9:55. We're going to do quick news and quick break before we